Hello, Yankee fans, and welcome back to another episode of 161st and River. So, today, what I'm going to be doing is kind of talking for a little bit about pretty much what's been going on in the past week of Yankee baseball, as the Yankees have played a bunch of spring training games in the past week. Have, studied out about 500 between them, but the main thing I want to talk about today is the injuries. So, we'll get right started. Obviously, I addressed this last week on an emergency stream last. I think it was Wednesday. That Garrett Cole officially underwent Tommy John surgery. Brian Hoke reported that he got that brace in the arm, which sometimes speeds up the recovery. He took down that tweet, which I found very weird, and then another tweet was put up that it's like 14 to 18 month recovery, but it's really like 12 to 18 months. The Yankees are probably going to err on the side of caution. It could be a quicker recovery. It could be a prolonged recovery. I really don't think anyone knows. And that's the scariest thing. I just don't think anyone knows. Michael Kay mentioned on his show, though, that he mentioned that it's the brace and it will be a quicker recovery. I don't know how much he knows, but take everything with a grain of salt. So, next up on the injury mountain is Mark Leiter Jr. Mark Leiter Jr. Was supposed to throw on Thursday, and it was reported that he didn't throw Thursday because of back tightness, back spasms. I think he was back spasms. Let's go back, if it allows me to see. I believe Mark was back spasms. I'll get to the Joey Gallo thing in a second, because I found that kind of cool. Obviously, Yankees had spring breakout, and I'll go briefly over that. All right, Mark Leiter Jr. was back spasms. That was correct. I didn't want to give false information. So he did not throw live BP. He threw on ground, left with staffers, and then the Yankees media team met with him and said that he had the choice between throwing a live BP session or doing the on the ground work and all that stuff, and he opted to do a bullpen session. Since the season is so close, he wanted to make sure he remained healthy. He apparently is fine. Now, the main injury concern, as I wrote in my article that I released last night, if you're following me on X Threads or anything else, X Threads or Facebook, but really X and Threads, I update the most. I published an article on this. Spring from Hell has continued as Aaron Boone announced that Clark Schmidt will not start against the Blue Jays tomorrow, meaning today. I'm filming this on Monday, St. Patrick's Day. They have not started the game yet, so as of the time of this release, I do not know the outcome of that game. Keep that in mind through the video. He will not pitch due to shoulder soreness. He hasn't pitched against the Jays. Due to shoulder soreness, he hasn't recovered to usual time. Okay, Boone proceeded to mention that no tests are scheduled for Schmidt and that he will throw a bullpen tomorrow, meaning today. So, Clark has already thrown that bullpen. It was at 10 a.m. Here is the he said. He mentioned that he's not overly worried about his shoulder, but he had trouble recovering after his previous start, and they wanted to be cautious. He went on to say, as Greg Joyce and others reported, that he is still aiming to have that April 6th start against the Arizona Diamondbacks, which will be his first start of the season. He was behind anyway due to back spasms later, but he aims to be ready for the season. That is fantastic. That's as good as news as you can get. If you're the Yankees, that is as good news as you can get. On the injury front, and then two quotes here, and then I'm going to get into some spring training performances. Jack Curry, who I guess is like filling in for Meredith this week, is doing like the beat reporter thing for the week, is down there in Tampa, and he said, with the way Boone has raved about Carrasco's swing and miss, indications are that Carrasco is likely to be in the Yankee rotation. He hasn't opted out on March 22nd, but he sees the two sides staying together as the Yankees need rotation depth, and it'd be unwise to lose Cookie. So I could see this going two ways. One, they're choosing Cookie over Warren and throwing Warren in the bullpen because someone's hurt. Which, okay, I can get that. Or two, and I think most wise, is go to a sixth man. That way when Heel comes back, he has an extra day of rest. Everyone has an extra day of rest because you really can't afford injuries right now. And you know what? That gives guys opportunities, and let's say Marcus Stroman or Cookie or whoever isn't as good as anticipated. I'm going to go with Stroman as that's probably the most likely, especially later in the season. You're not going to have him pitching every 5 days. You're going to be having pitch every 6 days. And that way, it's really a 2 or 3-way competition for when Heel comes back, if Heel comes back to form or if they want to throw Heel in the pen. If Heel comes back and is his dominant old self, they can really say, all right, who has pitched the worst? Stroman, Cookie, or Warren? We're going to keep the 6-man. And let's say it's Stroman, he pitched the worst. Or let's say it's Cookie, he pitched the worst. Or Warren. Could be any of those three. I'm not singling one out. That person's booted from the rotation. Maybe put in the bullpen, maybe not. But right now, the depth is so strained that you really can't dick around here. If you're the Yankees, you really need to make sure that everything is on the even keel. Schmidt said he felt great after the bullpen session, around 25 pitches. Schmidt said that he wouldn't be throwing if there was something major going on. So I think it was more of with Rodon the other day. Let's just scratch him and then have him throw live BP kind of thing. And let's hope that's all it is. Posted yesterday on my other account in the middle of the game after he got thrown out at second base, caught stealing. This is Oswald Peraza's spring stats, and they have gotten worse since I posted this because he had 2 strikeouts after this. So take that strikeout number that is not there, and take that 6 strikeout number and add 2 more. So 8 strikeouts, 1 stolen base. It should be still 2 caught stealings. The slugging, okay, fine. Every other number sucks. He has had an awful spring, Peraza. And let me ask you, Yankee fans, are you guys comfortable? And leave below. With Oswald Peraza starting the season as your starting third baseman with these numbers, I get it. It's 31 at-bats, but I'm not. I'm really not. And you could also go on the offense if you're really an Oswaldo fan and supporter. You can go on the offense, well, look at Anthony Volpe and his numbers this spring. Look at Aaron Judge. His numbers are a disaster this spring. I can rebut and say Judge's numbers in spring always are awful. For whatever reason, he sucks in spring training. I'm pulling up right now on the depth chart Volpe's numbers this spring. I don't think they're great. In fact, they might be worse. The only difference is Volpe's had 2 home runs and has stolen 2 bases. And his OPS is higher. But, in terms of guys, and I mean, Volpe's pretty much guaranteed a spot because the Yankees have made that like their culture lately. Let's guarantee Anthony Volpe everything. Okay, it's a bit 36 at bats, 5 hits, 11 total bases, 2 walks, 5 RBIs, 2 homers, 2 stolen bases, no caught stealings. That's a 139 batting average. Now I have Peraza there at 194. It's gone down since. So, if anything, they're closer to being about the same than they are different. I'm going to pull up Oswald Peraza, and I should probably show you this. If I go here to Oswald Peraza. I click into spring training, and then I click up here. His average is 182. So that's a couple more at bats than Volpe. So they're in about the same position. Volpe's defense is obviously very good. I want to put this up on the screen because I think people in the media and at MLB and everywhere are forgetting who the Yankees just acquired. I know it's spring training. I totally understand that. But if you're the Yankees and you just made a gamble of a trade to acquire a player, and he's batting 471 with a 514 on base percentage, 794 slug, and 1.3 OPS, I don't care if it's spring training, the regular season, I don't care what it is. If you're the Yankees, you would sign up for these numbers. It's 34 at bats, so the same as pretty much everyone else. 2 homers, 4 ribbies. I thought there were more than that. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. 471 average. Fantastic. Pull up Goldschmidt as well. Goldschmidt's strikeout numbers are there, but the hit tool is there as well. So, tit for trade, tit for tat, I guess that's the saying. Channeling Dwight Schrute. If you're an Office fan, you probably understand what that means. 31 at bats, 10 hits, 22 total bases. Slugging percentage is up. OPS is great. On base percentage is very high. These are numbers from Paul Goldschmidt, who, if you look down, this is a spring training last year where he batted 128, 222 on base, 255 slug, 477 OPS. That's the comparison. That's in 47 at bats. That's in 31 at bats. Goldie plays again today. And if you go down, 2022 was his MVP year. He batted 500 in spring in 22 at bats, so he's gotten more at bats. OBP is a little higher. Slug is definitely higher. OPS is a little bit higher. And ground out and outs in the air rate are up. That's a little bit suspect, but that's there. But if you're looking at like prime Goldschmidt, who put up great numbers in 22 and 23, not great numbers in 24, and if you're looking at the comparison of the statistics say that Goldschmidt is more likely to have a positive year this year in 2025 than a bad year. I'm not saying he's not going to have bad spells because everyone does, but I'm saying he is more likely to have a very good year than a very bad year based on how he's been this spring. And look, if we have these numbers through the regular season, I think any of us will take that after what we've gotten from first base. I'm going to put a couple more players up from spring training highlights right now. Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez kind of started off slow. The past 3 days have been fantastic. And I posted on X, and then another page copied me, and I was pissed yesterday because I'm like, I literally just fucking posted that, and now someone's gonna copy me. He didn't play in spring training last year because of Tommy John. In 14 games, he has the most at bats by a Yankee, 43 at bats, 11 hits, 22 total bases, 1 triple, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, 2 stolen bases. He's batting 256 with an 801 OPS, a 512 slugging percentage. The on base percentage is low. That's going to have to be worked on. Every other number is very promising. In 43 at bats, those are his numbers. He started off slow, but he's getting hot at the right time. In the past 3 games, he's been on fire. Can't get the guy out. I am very, very impressed with what Jason Dominguez has done. The defense, obviously, there's always going to be a concern. I'm not gonna jinx the kid. There's just going to be an injury. There's just always going to be a concern with his defense. And you know what? The only way he can fix that is by showing us how well he can do with it. Let's pull up another player. Austin Wells. Austin Wells. If I'm penciling an opening day lineup card, and I have my depth chart over here, my lineup card right there. Don't have anything set in it yet. The depth chart I have filled in. The lineup card I don't. If I'm filling out the opening day lineup card, if I'm Aaron Boone, I'm penciling him into the leadoff spot. He's having a fantastic spring. Snapshot of the numbers: 31 at bats, 8 runs scored, 11 hits, 3 homers, 6 ribbies, no stolen bases, which I would like to see him hopefully steal a base before spring's over. He attempted to, I think, in either fouls or I don't know if he got caught. Did not get caught, so that's good. 9 strikeouts. 9 strikeouts is high. 9 strikeouts and 31 at bats. That means you're striking out like a lot of the time. He's striking out, but he's also getting on base. His on base percentage is 412. His on base percentage is 412, guys. That's insane. He struck out so he's at 31 at bats divided by 9 strikeouts. That's about 34% of the time, 34% of the time he's striking out. All right, fine. He's also putting the bat on the ball. He's knocking in runs. And he's a leadoff hitter. Like, he has a ton of RBIs in your leadoff spot, and he's hitting home runs. This guy's like Schwarber in the leadoff spot. And I know he doesn't have Schwarber numbers, so it's crazy to compare a guy that doesn't have Schwarber numbers yet to Kyle Schwarber. I'm going to compare him to Kyle Schwarber because he has great numbers in that spot. And he's looked fantastic, and he's looked comfortable. And I think if you're penciling in a lineup card right now, if you're Aaron Boone, and if you're the Yankee front office or Brian Cashman, whoever makes the lineup, you're putting Austin Wells in that leadoff spot because he looks great in it. He looks like a leadoff hitter. Let's see. I wanted to put Cabrera up on the screen. Chisholm hasn't done great in spring, but it's spring training, so I'm not too worried with him. Him and Volpe both had like deep fly balls on the track yesterday that were like acrobatic plays by guys. So here is Cabrera. Oswaldo Cabrera has had 33 at-bats, 11 hits, 17 total bases, batting .333. 1 stolen base, 1 caught stealing, 5 strikeouts. Slugging's up, OPS is there. Ground ball, outs in the air, alright, that's there. But you look at the rest of the statistics. I don't want Oswaldo to be the starting third baseman, like, at all, because I think his services are best fit being a utility player. But right now, of all the guys that are available, I think it's got to be Oswaldo. Unless, they go external, but they're out of loot, so if they wouldn't do that. They can't go get, like, a player for a minor league contract because they're out of loot, guys. I don't know how they're going to be able to sign, what's his name? Fernando Cruz on the pitching side, I feel like he gives up a run, like, every single time he's out, and it's super duper concerning. I feel like he comes out and there's automatically, like, a guy on second base. He's been in the league for 10 years. Yeah. He's given up 2 home runs, hit 1 batter, walked 1. He's struck out 8. That's good. He has struck out 8 in 5 games, in 5.1 innings. Struck out 8, but he's also given up 8 hits and 6 earned runs. And then what's this? Number of pitches thrown. He's thrown 105 pitches in spring. All right. The whip's good. The ERA's awful. That's something that they need to look at. This is a guy who always has a higher ERA, which I don't love. But hopefully, as time goes on, he's looking better. And then the last one I'm going to show, and I'll show 2 more. I'm going to you know what? 3. Will Warren. If I'm showing pictures, I have to show Will. Will Warren has had a fantastic spring this year. I posted on my X account and Threads, so if you follow me on there, you will see or have seen a pitch profiler of what he's looked like this spring compared to what he was last year. 3-0, 2.87 ERA. Kind of got roughed up in his last start a little bit of bad luck in that last start. 15.2 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 1 homer, 200 pitches thrown, 3 walks, 3 walks in 15 innings, 16 strikeouts in 15 innings. Opponents are hitting 161 off him, getting balls on the ground. I like it. His whip, which is walks plus hits in innings pitched, is low. You want that there. This is good. I like what I see from Warren. And when you look at last year, ERA is higher in less innings. 18 hits instead of 9, so he's cut down on that. 10 runs, 6, obviously, more unearned. 5 earned. So he's given up 1 less earned run. Same amount of homers, 22 less pitches thrown, less walks, more strikeouts, better opponent average, better whip, little more ground balls. Yeah, that's what you want from Mackay. Luke Weaver, they actually did the Dreamweaver song this weekend at GMS, which I thought was great. They need to keep that in the regular season. I know the ERA is 4 this spring, but he only gave up 3 runs once, I think 3 or 4, and they were inherited. So I'm not. Oh, he gave up 1 run. Excuse me, I thought it was 3. He gave up a home run. He gave up 1 run this spring in 2 innings of work. How's that right? Oh, because he only pitched. Okay, that's right. He's thrown 37 pitches, 1 homer, 1 walk, 2 Ks, everything else you like. 3 games. He got a hold. You like everything here. Luke Weaver had that 1 rough outing right after Cole. Minnesota, I guess they had the Yankee pitchers that day, and you know what? Since then he's been money. So keep that Luke Weaver. And then this is the new closer, Devin Williams, to close it out here. See what I did there unintentionally. To close out this episode, I'll do the goodbyes in just a second. He has also 4 ERA. He gave up 1 run, 3 hits in 2 innings, 29 pitches thrown, 2 strikeouts. Kind of just getting into form at this point is all these guys are doing. So, in terms of what spring training looks like right now, can't afford another injury. Let's hope Schmidt's okay. Reports are indicating that he's fine. I really, really hope that that's correct. But follow me on social media. I'll keep you all updated. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Let's go Yankees.